So I made a video about energy vampires. It's a type of psychic vampire that feeds on life force, and I was contacted by one. They explained that all beings that feed off of energy are not all predatory. Those are more somatic vampires that feed off of the life force of individuals, whether consensually or non-consensually. And empaths are the biggest praise for these somatic vampires. However, they're repulsed by Reiki workers because when they absorb their energy, it physically makes them ill. But there are some energy vampires that operate with an ethical code, and they let me know the different ways that they nourish their bodies. One way they said is lightning storms. It's such a huge source of energy, and they said it actually tastes more delicious than others. Second is actually ambient energy spaces. So think of bars, nightclubs, sports events, massive amounts of people in one area, because they're not actually feeding on the energy of any individual. They're feeding on the energy that is being expelled out by the crowd, basically the collective energy. A third method that I haven't heard of yet is deities. They actually create a soul connection with deities, ask permission, and they get to feed on that deity once they get permission. Which leads me to my next option, consensual encounters, because some people actually want to be fed on. Whether it's through intimate relationships or even specific parties that are arranged for this exact reason, some people actually do want this experience, which has then led to debates on the ethics of vampirism, because it can be beneficial but also baneful depending on the way that it's used. Because there are certain energy vampires that feed on emotion. So if someone is full of negative, sad, traumatic emotion, they can find a vampire that actually feeds on that trauma and ask that person to take that trauma from them. But on the other hand, there is a chance for non-consensual feedings. What do you think about this? However, if you're an empath or you've come across one of the somatic vampires that are in their shadow form, practice energy protection. Create energetic barriers. But it is good to know that there are ethical vampires out there that feed consensually because they need to, not necessarily because they're trying to cause any harm.